Before an aquarium becomes an aquarium, before it can become a home to fish or a place for the public to visit, before it's even trucked across the country, it must be someone's idea.
Well, when we were first talking to Center in the Square and understanding what they wanted the space to be, they wanted it to be less corporate feeling, they wanted it to be full of energy, full of light, full of things of interest, excitement. So the idea came that we would carry the idea from Roanoke all the way to the ocean. And so the idea of the living reef and the coral idea was really a strong one, we felt like.
That idea goes to people like Reef Aquaria Designs of Florida, where concepts and construction engineering meet the eventual needs of the fish.
It's a long process. We start just conceptually sketching out ideas, and then once we got something that we're pretty comfortable with, we'll go ahead and put it in CAD so that everything's laid out to scale so we can see how everything fits together. I'll build 3D models so we understand how it's going to work once it's done, and then from there that information goes to the fabricator.
The center tank went from J.R. Corvison Screen to a fabricator used by Reef Aquaria Designs in San Diego, and then onto a truck bound for Roanoke. And this aquarium, the 5,500-gallon tank that'll eventually be a living reef attraction viewed by hundreds of thousands of people every year, arrived in Roanoke on September 6, 2012.
Riggers know what they're doing. We're sure hoping that it's going to work out well. We're very impressed. I think we have attracted quite a crowd around here too. It'll be extremely impressive when it's inside the building, all the rapids off of it, and the fish are inside. So that's what we're looking forward to. But this is one of the biggest things that's happened in Roanoke in a long time.
Ever so carefully, the tank began its final 100-foot journey to its eventual resting place. We don't want a mistake right now, do we?
Not a good idea at this point. Joe, the driver, came all the way from California. He wouldn't be too happy if we dropped it.
The media gathered, and people watched as crews rigged and then re-rigged the straps. Then, the first leg of the final journey. Eventually, the aquarium settled on casters on the sidewalk. From there, it was winched across the floor, only to set up 2 more tricky maneuvers. The aquarium had to be moved onto these yellow tracks so it could roll a final few feet before a second crane could set it in place. Yeah. Earlier in the day, crews had put down block ice. The aquarium would be set on top of the ice so the crane straps could be removed. It worked like a charm.
Yeah, I think we're going to go with where you're at. After days hard labor, which others did, we're almost there, having the most exciting exhibit that Center in the Square has ever had.
I'm really pleased at actually seeing how large the viewing windows into the tank really are. So it's going to be an aquarium that quite a few people can gather around, either just for individual enjoyment or for instructional kinds of things with teachers and all. So I think it's going to be really a strong piece in this particular location.
Teach your children well, their father's help did slowly go by.
The next day, with the ice melted and the tank in place, Jeff Turner and the rad crew added plumbing, while the contractor drilled 10 holes through century-old concrete and rebar so the aquarium could be connected with the filtration room in Center's basement.
Don't you ever ask them why, if they told you you would cry.
Then, a fire hose test fill with fresh water, and Phase 1, there it is, was complete.
And know they love you.
I think things have gone really well, John. We are really happy with the outcome. It was a a lot of coordination between the architect, the owner, everybody helping facilitate it. The construction company, Thor's, did a fantastic job. We had CSE, the rigging company, come in here and carefully place us in with, at one point they had about 15 men here working on it at once. So it's a very involved process. And that's what it takes just to get the aquarium put into this place and then ready for the next phase of the installation. It's going to be another 3 months of mechanical stuff to get it installed and get everything operating properly before you even put the first drop of salt water in. It's a big process.